what does it mean to be cool? Is it, you know, having sunglasses, wearing sunglasses inside, wearing sunglasses outside? Is it being good at sports? Is it knowing a lot about pop culture, movies, listening to rap music? I think that what it comes down to is personality. What your personality has to be cool. Like, think about LeBron James. He's not tapped in, as they would say, to social media, to movies. He's not, well, unless you count Space Jam 2, but I think that was just a paycheck for him, honestly. That movie fucking sucked. He's just a cool fucking guy. You know? Just a cool man. He plays basketball. He's really good at basketball. He's really just a brilliant man, if you think about it like that. But how did I become so cool? Where did my cool factor come from? That's what I'm going to call it. My cool factor. Similar to, you know, factoring in coolness. You know? Like, how much cool do you have? You're going to factor that in to your overall cool level, almost. So let me start from the beginning. I was born in 2004, and I went to elementary school from the ages 5 to, I want to say 10. Well, 10 or 11. So there's not a lot of good I can say about my childhood, per se. I was disabled. They would call me, you know, back in the day, they'd call me special. And that just felt demeaning, you know? Like, I guess I'm unique, but I don't feel like special, you know? Like, and that word special doesn't make much fucking sense. Because, I mean, I guess I was unique. I was different from the other kids, but that didn't make me feel special. And I suppose, you know, when you're special and you're not just a weird kid, you know, just a normal weird kid. When you're not a normal weird kid and you're a special weird kid, people are actually pretty nice to you. You know, at least in early 2010s when I was in elementary school, people were pretty nice to me, but it all felt very fake. I felt faked out. A fake kindness was bestowed upon me by my fellow students, my teachers, my doctors, my parents. It was all phony. They were just a bunch of freaking losers who wanted to suck up to me because I was special. I had a problem with my brain. That was why I was so special. And when I was 9, I got a surgery to fix the brain. And after that, a couple years after, maybe a year after, they decided I didn't need my aid anymore. And that was a hard day for me. I loved my teachers, my aide, woman who helped me through elementary school. I guess they thought I wasn't special anymore. And even though I felt very demeaned by that word, that kind of hurt. I felt like I was no longer unique to my student body. And because they fixed my body, if you look at it that way. And so there was this kid in my class who was honestly I want to say low-functioning autistic. Nothing wrong with that, of course. He was very nice he was very nice, but, you know, he was more special than I was. So my teacher, my aide, took care of him instead. And I'm going to skip ahead a few years. I discovered Radiohead at a very young age when I was in about 9th grade. And I wish that I'd had that band in my life at the time of my aide leaving. Specifically, the song Creep, because everyone knows that song. Very popular song. The lyrics to that song, I'm going to tell you them now. I wish I was special. You're so fucking special. And in the clean version, he says so very special. But we're going to say fucking, because that sounds more in line with the anger that I felt towards this guy, this kid, who was my age. So it wasn't like I was picking on a little kid who was autistic. It's a guy my age who was autistic. I wasn't picking on him. I just, you know, I love autistic people. I have many autistic friends. I might be autistic. We don't know. No one really knows until they get the evaluation. Truly. But yes, wish I was special. You're so fucking special. That related specifically to me wishing I was still disabled, because I would have my teacher's aid, and towards him, he's actually special. He's disabled, and I wish I was like that at the time. I no longer feel that way. I'm sure he's doing great things. Saw him on the street the other day. And really, you want to ask me how I became cool? How I got my mojo up? Really, it was that experience. I thought, if I can't be special and unique from being disabled, I may as well find other ways to do it, And so I became cool, but not immediately. I only became cool like 2 years ago. This was when I was 10. Let me walk you through the stages I was at. Stages I came to. Middle school. Huge Steven Universe phase. Huge 21 Pilots phase. I don't know if you guys know the character Peridot from Steven Universe. She's green. She's the green one. And I would do this impression of her. And she said clods a lot. And she sounded like this. Clods! Clods! And I would stand on the table, in the lunchroom. I would stand on the stools they would sit at for lunch. I would stand up, lean over my friend Aiden, and say, Clods! Clods! So, I'm a little embarrassed about that, but not for the reasons you might think. It was cringe. It really was. And not for the reasons you might think. It was, I want to say embarrassing. Not my proudest moment. I think everyone in that moment, no one made fun of me, but I think honestly, a lot of the kids in my middle school who had gone to elementary with me thought I was still disabled, and so they didn't want to make fun of me. And I wish they did, because I did not learn my lesson. My dogs are barking. I didn't learn my lesson at that moment because no one told me. No one told me I was being fucking an idiot and a cringe idiot. It was truly a disaster for my social status. Later down the line, a couple years later, 21 Pilots phase, baby. I was rapping car radio. I was rapping car frickin' radio to my friend Aiden again in the hallways. Just walking down the hallway, singing in his ear. I ponder of something great. My lungs will fill and then deflate. They full fire, exhale desire. I hope it's dire my time today. I don't know. He's still a good friend of mine. I don't know why he's stuck with me, because that's awful. That's terrible behavior. Genuinely just atrocious. I should have been outcast by everyone at that very moment, but I didn't, because I think, back to the word special, I had something special in me. People said, this kid is cringe. This kid is cringe. She's a lunatic. She's cringe. She loves 21 Pilots and Steven Universe, two of the worst things you could like. No offense to anyone who likes those, but they're trash. But she has something about her. And that's what I think mattered to me most. I might not have realized it at the time, but I had something. And I think anyone who views my YouTube channel or my content now can also tell. And to answer your question, yes. In a way, I was always like this. High school comes around ninth grade, and I joined drama club. Another thing that you'd think would weigh me down, but it didn't. It didn't at all. I actually, for the first time in 3 years, I made new friends in drama. And no, they weren't gay. That's not why I'm gay now. A lot of them were straight. A lot of them were cisgender. So before you start commenting, oh, you're gay because you were in drama club and you met the gay people, that's not what happened. I didn't realize I was gay until like age 16. Okay? I just don't like people calling my friends gay, okay? It's weird, okay? They're not. I came to this conclusion on my freaking own. Okay? That's me and me only. They had nothing to do with it. And sure, there were gay people in drama club, but I wasn't necessarily inspired by them. Why would I be inspired by gay people? Anyway, so my social status went up a little bit. I had new friends, new people knew me, pretty cool. But I wasn't quite cool yet. I had that special thing to me, but I didn't have that zing, you know? I wasn't funny. I mean, I kind of was to my friends, but I wasn't renowned for being a joker, you know? Like the class clown. You know those memes where it was like the kid who goes home from school, when the class clown goes home from school and he's really sad? I kind of felt like that without the class clown. I was very depressed in high school. So let's talk about 10th grade. In 10th grade, I realized I had the capacity to be really freaking funny. I met my best friend, Scruffy, who is love of my life platonically. I love him. And he brought me to a place where I realized I can make people laugh really hard. And honestly, that's why I'm here. I'm a jokester. I'm on YouTube because I'm funny. They would kick me off, I'm sure, if I wasn't funny, if I was just like, and it wasn't funny or interesting, they would not have it. YouTube would kick me off of the site. And we can't have that. So I'm really glad Scruffy made me realize I was funny, because if I was just like working at like a Dollar General in New York and I had nothing else about me that was interesting, I think I'd I'd do something bad. So I became funny. I was cool. I was the coolest person to one person, and that was Scruffy. And that was wonderful. But halfway through the year, we started to experience quarantine for COVID-19. Now, I have a whole spiel with COVID-19. I mean, some people say it doesn't exist. I'm not saying I subscribe to that belief, but I'm also not saying that I don't. It's really, we don't know what's up in the air. I mean, quote, pun unintended. Up in the air, it's a disease and it travels through the air. But, I mean, side note, I never really wore a mask correctly. I always had it below my nose. I really tried. I tried to have it above my nose, but I just couldn't breathe very well. And I wanted people to see my hunger, you know? And I kind of lost touch with Scruffy for a bit. I went a little insane. It was a low point for my coolness because I was out of my mind in quarantine. And then I got to 12th grade eventually. I was out of my mind. I was freaking crazy. So I started dating this girl. And, you know, I thought she was funny at the time. She thought I was funny. But I think that was an all-time low for my cool factor. Even lower than when I was disabled. I mean, that's pretty. I mean, being disabled, like, nothing wrong with it, but it doesn't mean you don't really, doesn't boost your social status much, you know? This girl was a bad influence on my sense of humor, bad influence on my mental state. She really just depleted anything cool about me. And so for about half the school year, I was dating this girl. And she was crazy and weird and all sorts of stuff. I was too, but I had something to me. Like I said, she had nothing to her. Never mind. We stopped talking the day after we broke up. What a relief, because as soon as that happened, I was making memes. We got I was making some awesome memes. Posting them on we had a meme page called Hustle Boner. Little Death Grips reference for you if you guys are a fan of Death Grips. It was bad. This girl would post on there because it was a shared account, and her stuff was just pretty bad. And mine wasn't as bad, but like I said, she was a pretty bad influence on my whole like humor head, as I call it, and my cool factor. But like I said, started becoming funny. I started posting memes. They were good memes. I think it was pretty funny. There was a couple that, you know, people didn't like on Twitter very much. For reasons, it was memes about music critic Anthony Fantano being in a relationship with Car Seat Headrest frontman Will Toledo. People on Twitter didn't like that. They were like, "Oh, you can't ship real people." I'm not. It's a joke. Come on, right, guys? Right? And there's not a lot to say about that, really. It was just too funny for Twitter, I think. You know, like, just they couldn't freaking handle it. I felt like the Joker, kind of, you know, from Batman. I felt kind of like him a little. After that year, I started college, and oh my god, I excelled in college. My humor and my cool factor all-time high. As soon as I started, I met so many funny people, great influences on me. We were talking about ooh 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 and like a monkey, but a funny monkey, like monkey business. You know what I'm saying? It was insane. However, I was making all sorts of content. I was making TikToks. That was pretty much it. I was making drawings sometimes. I was an art major, so I had to. But I also wasn't. That's why I dropped out eventually. I wasn't really doing my work, you know? So, I recover my coolness. I'm cool now. I'm funny now. Total package. Full package. But I drop out and I go home. And that was about a little over a year ago now. And, you know, I've had my tough times since then, over the years living at home. But I never lost it. I never lost it again. I never lost my mind. I never lost my personality. It was never gone. Never again. And I'm still that person today. I gotta say, I'm pretty. What can we learn from this? What can you learn from my experience improving and evolving my cool factor? Well, listen to Radiohead. Because then you'll find something relatable there that you can really grab onto. And I think that's important for anyone, even if you're not trying to be cool or funny. You gotta have something to relate to. And for me, it was Creep by Radiohead, but it could be for you. It could be Airbag. It could be Idiotech. Whatever. I love Radiohead, but could be different. Could be a whole different band, like fucking AJR. Another thing. Well, you can get out of this hole, but don't be disabled. You can be cool and be disabled, but to most people, it doesn't really work. So just don't, whatever you do, if you're not already disabled, if you're disabled, you can become cool. It's possible. But if you're not, what I'm saying is don't become disabled, because it will make things harder for you to become cool and funny. And like I said, lots of disabled people, pretty funny, pretty sweet, pretty cool. It just makes things harder all around, but especially when it comes to coolness. Another thing, don't listen to 21 Pilots or watch Steven Universe. Those are, especially if you're in high school or middle school, those things will drop your frickin' social status in the frickin' mud, in a muddy river, off a bridge into the muddy river. It is not good. Like, please, I beg of you, don't watch Steven Universe, or listen to 21 Pilots, or for that matter, Panic at the Disco. Just those two. Those two are off limits if you want to be cool. I guess Queen too. Queen is cool, but people who listen to them are gay. I shouldn't say. Well, I'm gay, so I can say it. Yeah, people who listen to Queen are fucking gay. Go to college, get an education. Even if you don't get the education, the social aspect of college will boost you up most of the time. It really worked for me. Maybe not. Break up with your partner. Make memes about Will Toledo and Anthony Fantano kissing and having sex. That's very important, I think. And just stay yourself. Be yourself, you know. Be authentic. You know, be authentic. It's okay to be yourself. It's okay to cry. Just don't do it in front of other people. And it's okay to be cool, and you should do it in front of other people. It's like Drake. Don't take that out of context, okay? Say, Drake. We started from the bottom. Now look where we at. I started from the very bottom of the food chain, and now I'm at the very tippity top. Everyone knows who I am. Most people know who I am. I'm kind of a, well, bit of a, I don't want to say a big deal, because I'm thinking a gigantic deal. I'm thinking I'm not a big deal. I'm actually a gigantic deal to society and the internet and my family and my previous classrooms and my workplace. All those things are like, I'm very important to those things, and I have a lot of status that's very high in those areas. And you can be like me if you just follow my program that I've just laid out for you. This is the program. Just whenever you're feeling like you're not cool, check back on this video, skip to any point in the video. I'm sure you'll find something that will make you feel cool again. It'll make other people think you're cool again. So, in conclusion, I'm cool. You can be cool, or you already are. Maybe you're just like looking for another cool person to, hit me up. Hit me up on Instagram. I'm gonna leave my Instagram in my bio, in the description too. Whew. All right. Well, I'm glad we could talk. I'm glad we had this talk. There's no easy way to say this, but I think this is goodbye. Until the next video. There will be more of these. I assure you. I love making these videos, giving advice, talking about my crazy, awesome ideas. All right. Have a good day, okay? Have a good day. Hey, yo! I didn't mean to kiss you there. Bye.